Welcome to In This Season podcast, where we unpack the most empowering conversations, have exclusive and inspirational interviews, and host special events. Join Tammy, some call her Butterfly, and explore life's purpose by learning how to embrace each season of your life with confidence, strength, and purpose. Whether you're blooming in the spring, or shining in the summer, or embracing change in the fall, or gracefully hibernating in the winter, get ready to be inspired. Join us right here on this season of In This Season podcast with your host, the Butterfly. It's time, no matter what season it is.
Good morning, beautiful people. Come on in to the barbecue. Daily Motivations for African American Success, where we've been rocking with you now. 315 days, I think we're on. So you guys, if you've been here, you know how we do it. We come in feeding the ducks, and this is a representation of how we do life. Life wearing you, or you wearing the life. Pimping wearing you, or you wearing the pimping, right? You got to know what that means. So y'all come on in and feed the ducks. That's how we do it. Shake it off, right? Get ready for this day. How did you start your day? We recommend that you face God before you face us and the world or anybody else, even before you face yourself. How about we face God? Get before Him. Silence your life. We're so busy and consumed with this world, right? Not just conformed, we are addicted to it. Everything gets our attention, or most things gets our attention more than God does. More than God does. Every day it's something new, somebody new, something that we get ourselves entangled in, mixed up in. And oftentimes before we have gone to God to ask for His direction, His protection, His provision, right? Often before that, right? So y'all, let's get it together. Let's make sure that we are facing God before we are, getting ready or trying to do this world on our own. So good morning, Brandon. How you doing there?
Good morning, Mom. Doing good. You look short.
All right.
Let me get down here with
I
you.
look short. I probably just need to pull my camera down.
How are you this morning?
I'm good. Is that better?
Yeah, that looks better. I can see you better.
Yeah, I think I just kind of messed the screen up a little bit, trying to do what I needed to do.
Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing?
We got some people out here. Latasha says, Happy New Day. God is good. Good morning to you, Latasha. Brenda Davis says, great everything and happy Wednesday, everyone. Big Mike says, good morning, everyone. And Auntie Richetta says, good morning, Butterfly and nephew. So thank you guys for rocking with us. Good morning to you and happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. And welcome to the In This Season podcast, where we have been reading through the book Daily Motivations for African American Success. So if you are here, you are looking for encouragement, motivation toward your success. The second good step of the day, like Mom said, after you face God, this is a great place to be, to first face the world. So welcome, it's family. Good to see you all. Hope to see some of you all soon. Hint, hint. But for those that don't remember, y'all gonna have to catch up, right? But this in this season podcast is what, day 315 days, guys, of us being here. reading through Daily Motivations for African American Success, learning from it, gaining some insights, just pondering and brainstorming what are the values of success? What are the paths towards success? What's the mindset for success? What does it take in order to be successful in a multitude of ways, not just financially, but spiritually, physically, emotionally, mentally, all into one, a holistic approach. But a little bit more about this book, Daily Motivations for African American Success. If you don't have it, make sure you get it and support this Black author. It's a great book, high value, low cost, no excuse kind of book. So if you don't have it and you're here every day, you should check yourself, because you're I'm not gonna say you're wasting time, but you aren't squeezing all the juice out of the lemon. So welcome, get this book and let's be inspired together. So Daily Motivations for African American Success will help you focus on the thoughts, attitudes, and deeds that will lead to the achievement of your true goals. And 365 short, powerful motivations, one for each day of the year. Dennis Kimbro, who's the author of the popular Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice, leads us to discover how to use the present moment and our own gifts to transcend labels, cultivate a positive attitude, become wise enough to know when to say yes and when to say no, and to look inward for answers to life's challenges. Each motivation begins with words of wisdom from distinguished and celebrated African Americans such as Malcolm X, Marion Wright Elderman, Whoopi Goldberg, Charlene Hunter Galt, Bill Cosby, Carl Rowan, Mother Hale, Reverend Leon Sullivan, and hundreds of others, just to name a few. This treasure trove of practical inspiration will give you fresh encouragement every day of the year, but what it teaches will last you a lifetime. So welcome again, everybody, and thank you for joining us. If you haven't already, please go to the YouTube channel away from the Facebook, like the channel, subscribe to the channel, like this page, like this video rather, and then share it with someone that you know could benefit from this. So without further ado, ready to hit the show, Mo?
Ready to hit it.
Let's hit it. So today is December the 12th, and our title is Stuck in the Mud. Our title for December. I'm sorry.
Okay. 11th.
We all good right there?
You said December 12th, didn't you?
Did I
You
say
got
12?
me confused. Yes. Didn't
I
you say
did.
12th?
Okay.
Y'all heard him? Did you
Did I
hear
say
him?
12? Yeah.
Votes come on in. Come on, y'all. Come on, because he'll put this on me. I was like, oh boy, did I mess up again? But no, you said 12th, didn't y'all? We on live. I can roll this baby back
Yeah,
out.
you can always go back. I'm just making, hey, if I said it, I said it.
I know.
No, but December 11th, stuck. We're going to do it too. December 11th, stuck in the
You
mud.
gonna do it. You know you are. You know you are.
Stuck in
I
the
bet this Miss
mud.
Brenda saying, yeah, he did. Miss Brenda
Uh,
said, yeah, he did. I knew it was her.
okay. All right, yeah. So be on my side, Miss Brenda.
No, she don't.
But stuck in the mud today. And Lynette McKee, the singer and actress, gives us our quote for the day. And she said, I have a choice. I can sit on my butt and be bitter about what Hollywood should be doing, or I can use my resources to do it myself. I have a choice. I can sit on my butt and be bitter about what Hollywood should be doing, or I can use my resources to do it by myself. And I think that was in reference to not getting black actors or awarding them or something like that. As we find our way in life, sometimes we are confronted with the question, what are you going to do? Sometimes misfortune strikes and tragedy hits home, and the question begins to surface, what are you going to do? Sometimes sickness and disease flare up, or our careers begin to stall, and the question begs asking, what are you going to do? Sometimes we earnestly and sincerely pray, and it seems as if our prayers have fallen on deaf ears. And once again, the question confronts us. What are you going to do? A truck was stuck in mud up to its axles. 3 lumberjacks sat in stony silence in the cab. The first man slammed the steering wheel, cursed, and stormed out of the truck. The second thought the early morning woods were quite inviting. He said he would crawl under a pine tree and take a nap until someone came along to pull them out. The third man, left alone, grabbed an axe and a saw and began cutting wood to slide under the wheels. Within an hour, he managed to pull the truck out of the mud, and soon he was on his way. We can choose how we respond to any problem, just like these three men. Our response may be to curse and give up, to sit back and wait for someone to help us, or to work fearlessly to overcome our obstacles. The event itself isn't important. It's what we do about our challenges that makes the difference. Again, the event itself isn't important. It's what we do about our challenges that makes the difference. And our affirmation for the day reads, when I'm stuck in the mud, I will act. Again, when I'm stuck in the mud, I will act. Over to you, Mom.
I like it, Brandon. Stuck in the mud. The mud is life, you guys, because as we say, life is always popping. Always. There's always some good. And then if you look at some things real deep, there's always something happening that make you feel stuck. And I believe, Brandon, that it's regardless, or I'll say there's always something that could possibly make us ask the question, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And we say what we should do, we ought to do, and what we ought to do, we should do. And that is, y'all, keep living. Keep living, right? Act. Do you act? Which one of these people would you be? Brandon, I'll be honest with you, depending on the day, I would have been the second one. I'm going to go find me a tree and I'm going to gaze into nature and I'm going to get my thoughts in perspective and just take some time to enjoy quietness, silence, right? So on any given day, most days I would probably be the second guy just for a while. I'm going to choose the tree and then I'll come back with, but that to me, that would be a form of action for me. I'd look at it like, Lord, and gave me another opportunity to sit in silence, take me away from the hustle and the bustle, right? But what are you going to do when life pops, when it's good, when it's bad, whatever bad is, right? And whatever good is, what will you do, right? Do you wait for people to show up and do things, or do you ask if you need help? What is your form of action when you feel stuck? What is your form of action? Do you ask yourself, what am I going to do? I'll try not to take it back, y'all, to God, because sometimes when we do feel stuck, or I'll say this, when it seems like God has moved and he's far away and he's not right there with you, we've heard it that no, it's not God that has moved, it's us. We've turned away. I shared something that somebody put out there the other day. If you feel, no matter how far you've gotten away from God, basically saying just he's one turn away, right? Just turn back. And sometimes life is, you feel stuck in the mud because God is calling you. We talked about yesterday of the goodness, the showering of gifts is upon us every moment, right? Every moment. And it just tells us that it depends on our mind. If it's open, how much we are willing to receive of it depends on us, right? So how you look at life depends on you. When things are going good and when things seem to be going bad. And what is bad? What is bad when God is for you? Who can be against you? What can be against you? Like really against you, right? Because James tells us, and I don't know who went back and just the question really is about your mud. Do you feel stuck? What do you do when you feel stuck? Truth be told, y'all, we all feel stuck. I felt, just think about it. After all the talk I do about God and da 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 da, I felt a little stuck yesterday. I talked myself right on out of stuckedness. Like that young lady told my cousin, that's nothingness that you're talking about, right? Take it captive, because life plays on us. Our emotions play on us. Our feelings play on us. Pimping wearing you, or you wearing the pimping? Your mind wearing you? Because our mind is the battlefield, y'all. It ain't the world. It's your mind that is the battlefield. Like Brandon said, there's thoughts can come in your mind so quickly and so strongly until you be like, what is that? Where did it come from? Make it think that it's your own and it's where you're supposed to be, the way you're supposed to be thinking. But if you take those things captive and measure them towards which way you are going, right? Your goals, if you have any, right? If you have any, if you're pursuing them on a daily basis, y'all. So over to you, Brandon. Because I'm gonna tell y'all, when I get it stuck, I might go up under the tree, but I'm coming out. I'm coming out. And if the truck don't or the car don't come out, I'm putting these foot to the pavement. We're gonna walk it out. We ain't getting stuck. No more stuckness. So over to you, Brandon.
Thanks, Mom. And I'll be, hopefully I'll be brief. I know you gotta get out and get some stuff done, and same here. But I just want to be pragmatic with it and pretty practical. If you're stuck in the mud, you're gonna stay stuck in the mud unless you move. You can get out and be angry about it and kick and scream, but it's still not gonna stop you from being stuck in the mud. You can get out and go sit under a tree, but it's gonna get dark. And eventually you're going to have to go back and address your issue of being stuck in the mud. Now again, I don't know what happened to the other lumberjacks, right? But from my understanding in the story, there's no part that says that he picked them back up or they got back in the truck. So if you're stuck and you hop out the truck, your truck is still stuck. If you get out and you get mad and you start to cuss, your truck is still stuck. So as soon as you get over your pity party, as soon as you stop, you know, being angry and cursing the air that you're breathing, you're going to have to go back and address your issues. Have you ever seen someone who talks around the problem but never deals with it? In many cases, it's because the problem is themselves. The problem is their lack of action or their lack of attention or intention on something that is dire, something that has been left alone or have been neglected for so long to where now it's a big issue. Mom, you used to tell me it's always okay until it's not okay, right? So I'm sure there's a reason that you're stuck in the mud. Maybe you tried to take a shortcut. Maybe, you weren't paying attention on that road and you went the wrong direction and got off track. But at some point, there's no use in hiding under a tree. Maybe for a quick second just to cool your head off. But there's really no point in it because you're wasting time. There's really no point in being angry about it because that's just going to cloud your judgment, further putting you further into the mud. And once you find yourself digging a hole in the mud, the best thing you can do is stop digging, right? Find a solution. And I'll be honest, and this isn't a place where I toot my own horn because I promise you I'll be the first to be like, hey man, I need to work on here, speaking to myself first. But I hate having an issue that I can't solve. Anytime there's an issue, I will figure something out. It might not be it that I figure out, but I'm gonna figure something out, right? There's gonna be some type of resource that I think about, like even when I was during the spring and summer and some of the fall building fences, there'll be times, y'all, where I forget the one tool that I need. I'll forget the one tool that I need that day for this one particular thing. And I might be 20 miles out, 20, 30 miles out. Do you think I'm going to go all the way home to get that tool? And I've done it. I have gone all the way home to get that tool. But sometimes I look around, I'm like, I've got to find something here that will do the same function. It might not do it perfectly, but I'll get that done quicker than if I went all the way home, got this little tool, and then came all the way back. There's something that I can do here. And one time I remember in particular, I was in Mississippi. I was somewhere in Mississippi doing a fence, and I needed something. I forget what it was. I was about to go all the way back to Cordova, y'all. 35 minutes, 35 plus minutes of a drive back to Cordova to get it. And as I came to the light, I looked down at the light was there for a while, and it was a light and a train. I looked down at my phone and I said, "Nope, I'm gonna just buy this tool. It's probably like $5 to $10, and it'll be better for me to do that here." So I start looking for the tool, and as soon as I see, there was one kind of in the area, I hit go on my maps, and it was literally the right. If I made a right turn, it was on the left hand side of the street. I mean, I could see it from where I was. And I just thought to myself, look at that. What I needed was right there. And then come to find out, I think what I needed, mine was actually about to be, like it was old. It was a gift from someone and it was already, it wasn't in good shape anyway. So I needed one. So I looked at it not as a inconvenience now, but rather, man, you know what? It was hot. I probably needed a break, and I'm out here by myself. I don't need to be doing all this work in this heat, and nobody's here if I fall out. So I was like, I probably need something to drink. And lo and behold, they were selling Gatorades in the hardware store. So I got a Gatorade. I got the tool that I wanted, and I was in proximity to go finish the job. And so instead of looking at it, cursing the situation, being upset about it, or just quitting altogether, I started on my track to remedy the situation and found a way to do it faster. I looked at it as this was happening for me and not to me, not against me. Even if it's happening to you, how does it happen to you? Is it happening to bring you further down, or is there something I can learn from this? Is there a way that I can shake it up? Shake up these ingredients that I have. This is resourcefulness. I might need, excuse me, I might need a 2 cups of sugar, and I might have 1 cup of white sugar. I got to go get some brown sugar and put it in there too. It might change the taste just a little bit, but I'm gonna still have my cake, and I'm gonna eat it too. Because what's the point of baking a cake if you ain't gonna eat it? So for me, I looked at it as this was an opportunity for me to get a new tool, get something to drink, take a quick break, and get back to work. And so I looked at it at the end, by the end of the day, as uh, uh, like an arrow in my belt, a new tool literally in my belt. I felt like I grew a little bit from that adversity, self-made adversity, but adversity all the same, to where I could have really let that knock off my day. I could have went all the way home, got in a conversation with my wife, sat with the kids, and be like, you know what? I'll just do this tomorrow. I'll just finish up tomorrow. I'll take the rest of the day off, because by the time I drive all the way out and all the way back, it's an hour plus, hour and 20 minutes of going back, fighting through traffic, getting my tools back out, loading the tools in the truck, taking them out, figuring out where I was, getting started again. So I could have just stayed there, but instead I went ahead and finished the job because I was able to innovate and be resourceful with what was around me. And I think we can get so accustomed and used to having the cookie cutter of what we need, of having that microwave, of having that one button fix to our issues and problems, to having that AAA that's just going to come and save the day. But I don't know if AAA is going to come in the middle of the woods and pick you out of some mud. They might do some roadside assistance, but they're going to be like, we said roadside, but not other side of the, you know what I mean? Outside of the road, inside of the bushes. We didn't say that. So you put yourself into many of these positions. It's time to take responsibility for it and dig your way out of it. So take that in stride, guys. Just look at innovative ways to be resourceful. What do you have at your disposal? What tools do you have as far as people, places, things that you can use to get yourself out of the hole that you're in, because everything you need is in front of you. If you weren't able to get out of this situation, if you weren't able to address this situation, you wouldn't be in it. And the way that oftentimes you get in it a certain way, and there's a way to get out of it. Like in my jujitsu classes, a student said, okay, when you do this and you get under me and you have my head locked like this, how do you get out of it? I say, you go reverse in the same way you got into it. You just go reverse. How do you untie a shoe? By pulling the last string that you pulled in the opposite direction, right? So with that being said, guys, be resourceful. Look at all the tools at your disposal. Look at it like an algebra problem where you're trying to solve for the coefficient x, right? You're trying to solve for x, but you have to isolate it. What tools do you have? What other things are in your equation? Or do you just give that problem to somebody else to say, hey, please give me the answer? You don't have to look on anybody else's paper. Everything that you need and the lesson for you is right there. Just sit back, be resourceful, figure out what tools you have and how can I mix this together. It might not be perfect, but how can I get the job done? I heard that one of the adages or the mottos of my great grandfather here in Memphis. He was really my great great uncle, but my grandmother was raised under him, and so I consider him my great grandfather. Never knew him like that, but I've heard much about him. But he said, in order to be a mastermind, you have to master your mind. You might not have everything you need, the tool to get the lug nut off and this, that, and the third, but there's something that you can do to make it easier for yourself. There's some tool, some resource that you can take advantage of that will move the ball down the field, right? And sometimes that's all you need. That 1 inch. All that man needed was a little bit of wood to maybe put under one or two wheels. And that little bit got him on his way. It would have been easier with the use of the other two men who left the scene either out of anger or out of, just not caring and wanting to go sit up under the tree. But that doesn't solve the problem. Turning a blind eye doesn't solve the problem. Yelling at a brick wall, or in this case, a stuck truck, doesn't change the problem. Only by addressing it can you change that problem. Now, how much faster would that process have been for the third man had he had the cool temper of the man who lost his temper and he had his help? If he would have had the strength and the patience, in a sense, let's say, of the other man that went to just go sit under a tree and reflect. Those three men could have gotten it done in much quicker fashion than this one man going down to chop some wood. So if we all become resourceful and if we all work together, our problems will be solved faster, quicker, with more efficiency, and we get on to the business of our day. We get on toward our collective success. But as long as we're divided, as long as one of us is throwing a temper tantrum for lack of maturity and the other is so lackadaisical to where he doesn't care or is waiting for a savior, then the ones that do want to fix the situation and are action oriented and are problem solvers are now burdened more than they need to be, more than was necessary, because there were three men in that situation, but only one got him out. Which man are you? Not only are those two other men not helping the situation, but they're putting more of a burden on the one who is solving the situation. And truth be told, probably that man, all three men got out, I'm sure, because if you went out there with two other lumberjacks and you fix the situation, I don't know what kind of person you are, but I'm going to be like, hey, y'all hop in the truck. But we're going to have a conversation when y'all get back in this truck about how y'all left me out here to fix this situation myself. Right? So who are you around is important. Are they problem solvers? Are they temper tantrums? Are they people that are just going to leave you stuck in the mud, leave you out to dry up in the mud? Those ain't the people that you want around. Those ain't the type of lumberjacks that I want around me. Okay, so pick your friends, because if you're the only resourceful one out of your friends, let me tell you, there's a lot of burdens going to come on your shoulders with people that are leaning too much on you and not on their own 2 feet. So don't be stuck in the mud in your relationships, in your friendships, in your car, in the way you attack certain problems and you remedy certain situations. As a man, and I'm speaking to my men first, your main objective in life, your value as a man, is to solve problems. Solve societal problems, communal problems, familial problems, problems with the lawnmower, with the garage, with the whatever it is. Your value to society is your ability to protect and serve. And one of the main ways of serving is to solve problems. You have been gifted with strength beyond that of a woman. You have been gifted with certain types of thinking that are different from a woman, right? Not saying that women aren't problem solvers, because you very much are. But when you have children and a family and you aren't the strongest out of the group, God didn't make you as that quote unquote stronger physically vessel, then it is our job as men to protect, to provide, to fight, to solve problems and make it easier for the women to flourish and raise the children in an environment that is free of stress. But if you're the type of man that just blows up, what kind of environment does that create for your wife and family or for your community? If you're just the man that says, I don't know, somebody will fix it, who's going to raise your children, those young men, right? And we found that women, girls who are raised in fatherless households do better than men and young boys who are raised in fatherless households. So if you're a problem solver naturally as a man, then do your job. When a woman's stuck in the mud, and that's your mother, that's your sister, that's your wife, that's your daughter, it's your obligation. So I charge us men first and foremost, and then outside of that, sisters, be the same way. Solve those problems, because a lot of these men are weak, and a lot of us are stuck in the mud. So if we stuck together, we need each other to get out. If we're in the same boat, then if only one of us rows, we're just going to be turning in circles. Okay. So if you're stuck in the mud, use your resources to get out. And that's all I have, Mom. Over to you on mute.
I'll end with this. If you feel stuck in life, you guys, mud, you have a choice. That's how our quote starts out. I have a choice. And then I'll take it down to the end of the passage. Do you or will you work fearlessly to overcome your obstacles? Will you work fearlessly to overcome your obstacles? The event itself isn't important. Hear that. The event isn't important. It's what you do about your challenges that makes the difference. It's what you do. And only you know what you truly do. Only you know. And God
That's right.
knows
That's right.
what you truly do. I'll end with that, Brandon. You guys have a great day. If you did not read James yesterday, read it. It is a book about faith and action. Read it. Or just James chapter 1. Read it. All right. Over to you, Brandon.
All right, Mom. I love y'all. Appreciate you for being here today. And I hope you come back tomorrow for the 316th day of the In This Season podcast. Again, go like this video and share this video on Facebook if you can, or with a friend. We can't wait to see you. And on day 313, Mom, I'm going to read this title, this quote, and get us on out of here. Our quote was Stuck in the Mud. Or our title was Stuck in the Mud for Miss Brenda Catchme. And our quote comes from Lynette McKee, the singer and actress, who said, I have a choice. I can sit on my butt and be bitter about what Hollywood should be doing, or I can use my resources to do it myself. And our affirmation for the day that we carry with us, that we tell someone else, that we grow like a seed inside of ourselves, is when I'm stuck in the mud, I will act. When I'm stuck in the mud, I will act. Be action-based today, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Love you.